Hi everybody, Anthony Burris here with Life and Finances, along with some sacrifice and service. Now, one thing I always like to do is whenever I see and experience good service, I like to commend it. This week I was driving along the Fox Hill Road, southern portion of Fox Hill Road rather, in the vicinity of the prison. And I realized, oh my goodness, this road is very smooth. Wow, nice walkways, sidewalks, and what have you in place. So I want to say kudos to the Ministry of Works. The only thing I'm going to ask them to do now is to paint the middle and the edges, just how you do anywhere else in Nassau, in particular, like how they have out west and some of those other areas, do the same thing. But kudos to the Ministry of Works. Now, today, I want to talk about the secrets for financial success. That's right, the secrets for financial success. I had a startling experience just the other day, having a conversation with a colleague. I know what statement he made. We were talking about professional athletes, their salaries and free agency and all of that. And he said, get this, if you live in the Bahamas, it is impossible to become a millionaire without selling drugs, liquor, or dealing in corrupt practices. I was like, oh my goodness, such a dangerous thought process. And I think it's a direct reflection of his child rearing. Must have had an awful childhood is all I can say, because parents, we are supposed to nurture dreams and hopes and aspirations. We have to foster that imagination in our young people so that they have this notion that anything is possible. But remember, we become as we think. What the Bible say, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And the thing is, we always get what we expect. And the belief that, hey, a situation and circumstance determines your life outcome. That's all the sort of things he's saying. And the belief that who you know is what opens doors, not your hard work, perseverance, and spirit of excellence. And I go on to say, and I said this to him, we are living in one of the greatest and wealthiest country on the planet. We certainly are the wealthiest in the Caribbean, and we are top 5 out of 35 nations that make up the Americas. And the Americas consist of, you got North America, South America, Central America, along with the Caribbean. Our GDP as a nation, which is only approximately 400,000 or 395,000 to be exact, $12.6 billion. That's our GDP. We have an average individual income as $33,000 a year, an average household income of $26,000 a year. Now, the Americas is made up of a collective population of 965 million people, just a couple million short of a billion. You see, what we have to remember, we are made in God's image. He gave us something. He gave us a brain. Then he put us in a situation where we stand up straight. And he gave us hands. So the hands, you can work. But the brain is actually a natural resource. Your brain is a raw material. The raw material. That's the brain that we have. And it goes like this. See, the greatest downfall I am realizing as a human being, I have come to realize that we just don't think. And someone said that the other day, but we just don't think. And what happened is that we have to better that thought process and come up with the ideas, and then, of course, put everything as a plan. Let's remember now, everything that exists in our country and around the world first started out as a thought. Let's remember, someone looked at Hog Island and said, you know what, we can make this paradise island. I will build a bridge, and then I will build a massive hotels, and on and on. Started out with only a thought. And then I always think about it. Proverbs 13 and 11 says, whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow. Oh man, that's what it is. Doing things step by step, making it grow. And what we must remember in this Bahamas, you and I are sitting on gold, and in most instances, we aren't aware of it. We have this spirit which is, hey, I am entitled to this. Someone give me a job. Someone do this for me. Gimme, gimme, gimme. And no effort. Come on, man. Let's shake that spirit of entitlement. You see, we are in a wonderfully blessed place. Wonderfully blessed. I'll tell you a story. I can remember a gentleman told me a story when his father came to the Bahamas in the 50s. I know that's a long time ago. But he came in the 50s. And you know what? More opportunities persist today than ever was in the 50s. But what happened? He came to the Bahamas in the 50s as a policeman. And in those days, the police used to be brought in from Trinidad, Barbados, Jamaica, all over the Caribbean. And when he came here, his intention was to work his 3-year contract and then jump on a plane and go to Canada, where his brothers and sisters had immigrated to. But you know what? He moved around this island and he saw people who looked just like him, seated and sitting in the positions of power and authority. And the thing is, this was before majority rule. And so he comes to a situation where, upon seeing this, he then decided, you know what? I'm going to stay here and make a life of my, at least with a family and all of that. And you know what? He saw this as a land filled with opportunities, and this was in the 50s. Think about it today. I had another experience now talking with a guy, a younger person, and he said to me, Mr. Burrows, I guess that's how it is when you start to get older. Tell me, why do some people succeed and then others just struggle or they just totally fail? And then I remember a story that I heard one time. I said, you know what? Take 100 persons, any 100 persons from anywhere in this world and anywhere in the Bahamas. They are beginning life's journey. When you check them all at age 65, only one will be wealthy. That's 1%. 4 will be financially independent. And financially independent doesn't mean that you're necessarily wealthy. Financial independent meaning that you're in a position to take care of yourself and meet all of your needs without any sweat. And that's a situation like you can be living in Baintown, Black Village, Kemp Road, and still be financially independent. And here's how that is. The individual will set aside a certain amount of money every pay period, right? That's the first thing. Then they live below their means. They purchase themselves a property and they build their house or buy it, but they own their property in which they are living and the house in which they are living. So 1 is wealthy, 4 is financially independent, 60 will be flat broke, and then 35 will barely be getting by. And you know why? Because they lack goals. And I like to think of it like this, you know. A guy I know the other day was on a boat and they had to be rescued. But what happened? Their boat, the engine lost power, and that boat just drift. And of course they threw an anchor over, but the water was so deep, so it couldn't get to the bottom of the seaway in which they were. But the thing is, that boat just drifted until finally they were rescued. So if you take a boat and just let it drift, ultimately it's going to end up on the rocks, or it can simply sink and you find it somewhere around Andros or on the rocks somewhere around Inagua. You see, you must have a specified destination for your life. This is where your 1 year, 3 year, and your 5 year plan come in. And I like to think of a young guy who I grew up with. I was about 13 in grade 9. After finished playing basketball, we had this conversation, loafing on the court and everything. The sun basically set, but we decided to have a conversation. And I asked, hey, everybody, what is it you want to be when you grow up, when you finish grade 12? 1 or 2 wanted to be a doctor, 1 or 2 a lawyer, 1 or 2 an accountant. And then we got to this one person. He said, I want to be a police officer. And we were like, what? Why would you want to be a police? Because our class level really and truly tended to go on to different things. 1 or 2 may go into immigration or customs, but none would go in and be a policeman. But the thing is, the moment he graduated, just as he turned 18, he joined the police force. Years later, you run into him. He is a senior superintendent of police. And I've seen him, they've switched him from different governmental departments, which he've organized and created excellent service in those areas. So He is a whopping success. He found some of the secrets to financial success and to success period, which is he had a clearly specified destination. He wanted to be a police officer. And the thing is, he became a very high-ranking police officer by putting in the effort and the planning. Now, one of the greatest inhibitors and preventers for us to become successful and experience financial prosperity, it is conformity. Let me say that again. Conformity is the greatest inhibitor to your success. And the thing is, you just look around and you say, you know what, everyone's doing it, I'll do that. Or you go on a job and the persons are saying, hey, why are you working so hard? Why are you causing me to look bad? And bring everybody down to the common denominator. It reminds me of a experience I heard about the other day, couple months ago. You had a person in a particular governmental department. This individual would process about 15 to 20 applications a day. Everybody else was doing 5. And you know what? They set up an investigation as to why this individual is doing 15 to 20. Instead of looking at it and say, hey, why are everybody else doing 5? And this is how the world oftentimes is shaped. It's shaped so that and set up so that everybody could just simply fall down to the lowest common denominator, live in a spirit of mediocrity, and be lousy and give poor customer service. But you know, let's go into some for the financial success now, the secrets for this financial success. The first thing is know your income. Know your income. You got to know what's coming in. And whether it's collecting rent, whether it's a salary, whether it's a dividend, whether it's an annuity, whatever it is that's coming in, know how much is coming in. Then the second thing you must understand is what is an asset. Now, an asset is anything that's always increasing in value. It has to increase in value, then you can say it's an asset. Tennis shoes, clothes, while they might be a necessity, they are not assets. Your home, in some ways it's debatable, but in your home and in the Bahamian context, that's an asset. The business that you'll be running, that's an asset. You see what I'm saying? Things that increase in value. You may buy government bonds. That's an asset because you're in a situation where the government bond continues to grow in terms of the interest that you'll get. So that's income, assets. Now let's go to what is a liability. Remember, we're looking at the secrets for financial success. And a liability is you responsible for paying, or it puts you in a disadvantaged position. But mostly liabilities come in the forms of debt. You have to loans and things of that sort. So for the financial success, remember, income, assets, liabilities. Now a key ingredient to begin the journey with the financial secret is savings. And the savings is what? Setting aside a specific amount every month, every pay period, every income, with a particular goal in mind as to how much it is you want to have at the end and what the purpose for that. Remember now, savings make money available so that persons can go out and take out loans, especially, in my encouragement is disregard consumer loans. Disregard the credit cards. Let's save. If you're going to take out a loan, look at it for something that's going to move you and your family forward and something that you can look back at 15 years later, 10 years later, even 20 years later, which can shape the destiny of your family for generations to come. Then the other item along the financial success is budgeting. Budgeting. And a budget is simply willfully controlling your money. Budgeting, willfully controlling your money. You have, hey, it's going to go here, it's going to go there. You have it specified where it's going to go. And then the key secret is living below your means. Or if you're taking in $100, don't spend $100. Spend $80, set that 20 aside. Let's do that. See, I want you to realize something. There are many millionaires among us. Just everyday people when you go around. Everyday Joe Blow. Think of your aunt, your uncle, your grandfather, your grandmother, Your cousin or your good friend, they have a couple apartments on rent. They have other buildings that they're renting out to businesses. Some have good investment in some of the stocks and bonds that's locally available. So what I'm saying is that becoming a millionaire doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have $1 million in the bank, because those people will tell you they themselves aren't millionaires because they don't have $1 million in the bank. But when you take the assets that they have and then take the liabilities that they have, which are the monies and things that's owed out, and when you subtract the liabilities from the assets, you come up with their net worth. And that's when you realize, oh my goodness, this individual is a millionaire. Now, the thing is, the biggest secret, here we go, is the biggest secret. And it's not a secret after all. Remember, we're talking about secrets for financial success. And the biggest secret is service without any expectation. That's when you show up on your job, you show up in your home, you show up wherever, and you render service not expecting anything in return. And that's where the great, wonderful bonus comes in life. You see, when you look at going the extra mile, having the spirit of excellence, this is what helps us to get there. I always remember a street sweeper. And I watched this guy on Bay Street when my wife and I were dating, and we'd go on Bay Street some evenings, and he would be out there and he would start sweeping from East Street and then come on down, straight on down to Sheraton or the Hilton, and then come back to the Market Wharf area. And this guy was unsupervised, and he didn't leave a stone unturned, and he didn't leave a pebble on the street. He possessed the spirit of excellence and service without expectation. I later learned that his name was Jared, but I don't know the first name. And the thing is, part of that secret now, part of the biggest secret when it comes to financial success, is being a lifelong learner. Many people, they have a PhD or they got a master's degree or they have a successful business, whatever it is, they figure, hey, I arrive. I don't need to learn nothing else. But be a lifelong learner. And through lifelong learning, you can do that. You have YouTube, you have webinars, you have all sorts of books and things that you can access. Sometimes just simple programs on the television that you look and seek for, and you learn something new that can be applied to your everyday living. So overall, the final key for your financial success is find what you enjoy doing. You know what it is you enjoy doing, and provide it as a service to others so that they'll pay for that. Find what you enjoy doing, provide it as a service to others. So the secret is no secret at all. It can be seen and found everywhere and people all over the place. You see, a lot of persons don't get to those secrets for financial success is because whenever they see something that, let's put it this way, because things come disguised as work, people tend to shy away and run away from it, and therefore they do not realize the success that it is that they can possibly have. So I want to say this. Remember, teach the children. Pursue land and home ownership. Pursue that business that's been rattling in your brain for years. So until next time, may the God of heaven and his Son, the Christ, bless and prosper you.